All right, class, a very good morning. I hope you all are healthy and happy. Let's start with today's topic. We have been revising chapter number first, that is chemical equation and chemical reaction. Okay, in yesterday class, I have just taught you what are the different types of chemical reaction. I told you that there are so many reactions in which reactant may combine to make a product in either different form. Okay, sometimes it happens like two reactant combine to make a product, a single product, or we can say a single reactant or two reactant, they just break down into many products. Okay, moreover there is some change in heat also. So on the basis of these chemical reactions, we have classified them into 5 different uh, types of chemical reaction. Besides this, I have told you there are oxidation reduction reaction also. Okay, so on the basis of these reactions, we have in yesterday's class just have completed our 2 types, that is combination and dissociation reaction. Okay, on the basis of heat exchange, I have also classified that they have been also other named like exothermic and endothermic. Okay, in combination there is heat release, that means exothermic. On the other hand, my dissociation means we require energy, we require heat to break down them. That is known to be endothermic. Okay, so in today's class, we will see a few questions, that is our NCERT index question, and then we move to our third type of reaction. Okay, let's start with the first question. The first question asked to you in your NCERT text is, name the compound which is used for whitewashing. The compound used for whitewashing. Okay, so first of all, the compound which is used for whitewashing, I have told you that this is something which can be also classified in your combination reaction, that is known to be calcium oxide, or we can say it quicklime. Okay, so it's a kind of use that what is the use of quicklime, that is calcium oxide. Okay, that was it. Now the second question which has been further added, we have been asked what would happen if we dissolve it into water. That means calcium oxide is dissolved in water. What would happen? What would we get? That is calcium hydroxide, known to be slaked lime. This is a reaction which we have done in our yesterday's class also. Okay, so the same question that we have been classified. Another question is on the basis of dissociation reaction that we have just done yesterday. Dissociation reaction. That means a reactant is getting dissociate, getting decomposed into 2 or more products. Okay, so the question we have been given, suppose we have given H2O. It's making H2 plus O2. Okay, now first of all, when we see a reaction, we need to balance it. Okay, so for balancing the reaction, I have done that here hydrogen is 2 but oxygen is in less quantity, so we have done like this, 2H2 plus O. Moreover, since this is a dissociation reaction, we need some heat or some energy to dissociate it, right? So this is known to be a second question, which is example of dissociation reaction. Now the question has, in this reaction, if we have taken in 2 years, whenever they have been completed, when they have their reaction has been completed, what's happening? H2 is something which is almost in the double quantity. H2 is something which is almost in the double quantity as compared to oxygen. That means they are in the ratio of 2:1. So the question is asked, why is it so? ऐसा क्यों हुआ है that we have the H2 and O2 in the ratio of 2:1? The simple answer is, when we have been taken the reactant H2O, already my hydrogen was in 2 and oxygen in 1 ratio. So this particular example tells us that if reactant is given to us, the product would be in the same manner. The product formed would be in the same manner. Yes, one more thing, it could change when we take out our balancing the equation. But overall, when we get the final result, we will see that the reactant is something which totally dependent on the formation of product. Okay, here hydrogen is twice in the mass as well as in the volume as compared to oxygen. So in the final result, we also get hydrogen and oxygen in 2:1. Okay, so this is something which we have also studied in our 9th class. 9th class में we have studied law of composition, law of composition, law of constant mass, which tells us that if we are taking a number of atoms in the reactant, in the product, it would be same. Okay, so this example clarifies the whole concept. Clear? Very simple topic, very simple concept. Now, that's all we have done. 2 examples as well as 2 types, the combination and the dissociation. We have revised them also, that this is combination, this is dissociation. It seems very clear, there 2 are combining and this is dissociating. Okay, now let's move to our 3rd type of reaction, that is displacement reaction. Okay, so let's move on our next topic, that is displacement reaction. The displacement reaction, as the name suggests, what should be happen in this particular reaction? What could be the type? What could be the benefit? Displacement defines. All right. So we have been starting with the 3rd type of reaction, that is displacement reaction. Displacement, as the name suggests, here is getting replacement or exchange of seat, that we can say in our layman language. I just want to tell you what do you mean by displacement reaction. So displacement or replacement or exchange of seat, it explains us, it conveys us that suppose we have 2 atoms or compounds in which a single atom displaces its seat. As compared to seat, I would like its position. Okay, so displacement reaction is that reaction in which our atom from a compound just replace its seat or just replace its position with the another atom which is present in different compound. Okay, so that means there is any kind of compound which is just an atom and another compound, this is replacing this one. Yani an atom is replacing another atom from a complete compound. Okay, so we would get this one. Now the point here is how we come to know that this A has capability to replace the position of B. In other words, I want to say how we can come to know that A has the power to replace the position of B. That we have also studied in our 3rd chapter known to be reactivity series, है ना? I hope कि आप अब आप दोनों चीजों को बहुत अच्छे से क्लियर कर पाएंगे, बहुत अच्छे से कनेक्ट कर पाएंगे. We have studied in our reactivity series, which has given the example of metal. Like this, है ना ध्यान? We have studied, we have just named it also to learn into short trick. Okay, so I just want to say if A is reactive, if A is more reactive than B, only it has the capability that it would replace the B. बहुत simple सी बात है. If B is not as much reactive, it's not as much strength, so it's very simple that it would be easily replaced by A because A is more powerful, A is more reactive. Okay, let's see a few examples that would clarify your concept. The very first example is we have iron and copper sulfate. Okay, now we have iron, we have copper sulfate. The iron is a metal, sulfate is a copper sulfate is liquid position, it's liquid state. Now what's happened whenever we piece a metal of iron and dip into copper sulfate, after some time the blue color of copper sulfate replaces, it's become colorless. Why is it happening so? Because iron has replaced the copper. Iron has displaced the copper. Am I clear? So this is known to be displacement reaction in which an atom from another atom or another compound would displace it very easily, and that's dependent upon the reactivity. Okay, till now you have to just remember this particular reactivity series if it's okay for you, or you can take one or two examples that yes, iron is something which can replace it easily. Okay, another I would like to say that we can recognize this type of reaction, that we have two compounds in which a single atom would be given. Most of the time it would be a metal. 99% of displacement reaction is dependent upon the metals. Okay ji, like we have iron plus copper sulfate. Okay, same as it is. Let's take another example. Let's take zinc and iron. Zinc plus ferrous sulfate. Okay, now zinc is showing its position which is upper to the iron. यानी जिंक के पास अब ज्यादा कैपेबिलिटी है as compared to iron. Okay, do not confuse that we have done iron has the capability, because it was much capable as compared to the copper. Now zinc is much capable as compared to the iron. This is whole dependent upon this reactivity series. Okay, so zinc plus iron sulfate, it will be easily replaced by zinc sulfate plus iron. Am I clear? So we have done our third type, that is known to be displacement reaction. I hope you have got the point. Should we move to the next point? That is the next reaction, which is known to be double displacement reaction. Okay, one more point here I want to explain to you, that whenever we have been talking our reactivity series, we do not need to remember the complete series, just have some important ideas, that most of the time these reactions have been used. Most of the time these type of metals have used, like zinc, iron, lead, copper, gold. Most of the time 90% in your board exam you would get the question from these metals only. Okay, so just just keep that in your mind, that whenever we go down, the reactivity is decreasing. All right, decreasing. This topic, this concept, that why how do we come to know about reactivity series, we have explained this in also chapter number 3. Okay, but till now you have to just remember these terms, this particular topic. All right, I hope I'm clear. Let's move with the next topic, that is the next type of reaction. But if there is any kind of doubt or query in these type of reactions, please let me know whenever we would complete the class. Okay, now the fourth type of reaction is known to be double displacement reaction. Double displacement reaction. All right, so the double displacement reaction, what does it mean? How can we explain what is double displacement reaction? The double displacement reaction, as the name says, in which two atoms, or we can say two compounds, have been given to us, and there is replacement of two atoms. In our displacement reaction, there was only a single atom, like zinc and iron sulfate, so it was replacing it, that's all. But in double displacement reaction, there is exchange of position of two atoms, and also there is not an atom would be given, there would be two compound given, like this. Let's take this copper nitrate. Okay, like this. That means there would be complete compounds would be given rather than a single metal. Okay, let me define this particular position and give you some example also. Okay, first of all, I'm taking a simple example that will clarify your concept. The double displacement reaction is a reaction in which two atoms are getting replaced from two compounds, two or more compounds. Okay, let's take a single example, that is we are taking with lead nitrate plus potassium iodide. Okay, first point is here, bache, you can see potassium is also a metal and lead is also a metal. And in the previous reaction, we have seen that we have been given only a lead or zinc or copper as single atom, plus another compound would be given here. So now we have been seeing that there is lead nitrate as well as there is potassium iodide. What would be happen? So the first point is, in this double displacement reaction, there is position of the two atoms which are getting replaced each other. So I would like to say there is formation of lead iodide plus potassium nitrate. Lead iodide plus potassium nitrate. Am I clear? Yes. Now the point here is, how do we come to know that lead is getting attached with two atom of iodine? मतलब हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि lead के पास इतनी power है कि it would attain two particular atoms of iodine? That's very simple, बच्चे. You have seen this in your previous class. We will just use the crisscross method. Lead is 2 positive, iodine -1, and we would get, all right, same as it is lead nitrate. All right. Now, first of all, the reaction is not balanced, quite obviously. So we will take 2 and this one. This is known to be double displacement reaction. So the question would become, how would you differentiate the two reactions, that which one is displacement and which one is double displacement? So the first recognition is there is mixing of two particular compounds. Both contains metal. Okay, this is our first recognition. Now the second one, lead is replacing the potassium, lead iodide. Same as it is, the potassium is replacing the lead and getting attached to potassium nitrate. Am I clear? So this is how my double displacement reaction takes place. Now I would like to give you one example and would tell about this point. Suppose we have been given. Okay, so what I was saying, we have done one example of double displacement reaction. Let's start with another example. We have been given with sodium sulfate plus its barium chloride. Okay, we have been provided with sodium sulfate as well as barium chloride. Now the point here is, whenever we took the sodium sulfate and barium chloride, according to double displacement reaction, the barium should be exchanged with sulfate and the sodium with the chlorine. So can I put like this? Yes, definitely. I can do the same reaction. That is, sodium sulfate is getting attached with, a barium chloride, and barium is getting attached with sulfate and sodium with chlorine. Now the point here is, first of all, we should check out that whether our compound, whether we have been formed, it is in the correct statement or not, whether the number of atoms are in the right position or not. So we have checked out that barium is 2 positive, sulfate is 2 negative, barium sulfate, that is BaSO4. Okay. Second point is, we have to balance our reaction. Sodium is in 2 position where it is only in a single position over here. So can we do? Now my chlorine is also 2, my chlorine is also 2. Everything has been completed. So first of all, this is a double displacement reaction in which barium chloride and sodium sulfate, on reacting with, are making two different type of compounds, that is barium sulfate and sodium chloride. That is my first point. Moreover, if we check this reaction, if we just do this reaction in chemical laboratory, we perform the compound, what's happening over here, after some time, there is a white insoluble compound settle down. I want to explain कि मान लीजिए मैं chemistry lab में काम कर रही हूँ and I have taken two different test tube. ओके मेरे पास दो अलग अलग टेस्ट ट्यूब है, एक टेस्ट ट्यूब में मैंने सोडियम सल्फेट डाला हुआ है, एक में बेरियम क्लोराइड. सपोज दिस इज टेस्ट ट्यूब विद बेरियम क्लोराइड and I am putting another sodium sulfate. Both are in liquid form. So what's happening after some time when I'm shaking my the lower test tube so that it's getting dissolved? After some time, there is white color insoluble precipitate settled down. There is formation of a white insoluble getting dissolved, plus it's settled down. That means it just lower down in the rest in my barium chloride position. So the first point here is that there is kind of reaction which has told us that there is formation of this white insoluble compound, which is known to be barium sulfate. Moreover, the compound which settles down, that is known to be precipitate. Have you heard the statement? Have you heard the word precipitate? I think in 9th class you have studied. Precipitate is something which is insoluble and which would be settled down whenever my reaction has almost been completed. Am I clear? So also this reaction is known to be precipitation reaction. This is known to be precipitation reaction. Am I clear or not? Should I repeat it again? We have an example of double displacement reaction in which two liquids have been getting dissolved, and after some time there is formation of insoluble compound. That insoluble compound is called precipitate. That's why the reaction is known to be precipitation reaction. Okay, this is known to be precipitation reaction, and I hope I'm clear with the topic. Now the point here arises, how can we come to know that this is known to be precipitation reaction, or how can we say that there is formation of precipitate? The point here is barium 2 positive and sulfate 2 negative, whenever they combine, they have the capability to make a strong bond. Barium 2 positive and sulfate 2 negative, these are two ions. When they're getting replaced, they have the capability that they would make a strong bond, and this bond is so much strong that there is no space available between them. मतलब उनके बीच में स्पेस जरा सा भी नहीं है कि वो किसी और लिक्विड को अपने अंदर डिसॉल्व कर सके. So there is formation of insoluble compound known to be precipitate. In short, insoluble compound is known to be precipitate in chemical language. That is not much difference between the two. Okay, so all right. So I just want to say that we have done our 4 type of chemical reactions. That is, first one is combination, dissociation, displacement, and double displacement. Now we have been left with only our last type of reaction, that is redox reaction, and one more topic, that is corrosion. That we will see what would happen in our next week, which class would be happen. We will take that particular topic. Till now, you have to just go through with all this type of reaction as well as your NCERT in-text question. And if there is any kind of doubt or query regarding this topic or previous classes, please let me know.